right, so welcome to the very first ever Pro Stylist TV podcast. And today what I thought we'd kick it off and talk about is the importance of getting a good shape cut into your hair. See, if you get a good shape cut into your hair, then that shape is duplicatable when you go to style it every single day until, of course, that haircut grows out. Anybody can cut hair, right? Anyone can take a pair of scissors and cut your hair. Anyone can cut hair. Doesn't mean they're going to cut it good. So what we want to talk about, I had a discussion with somebody earlier, is the importance of actually having the shape that you get cut into your hair being executed well. So have you ever gone to the hairstylist, got a haircut, and then they styled it super cool, and you're thinking, man, this is the greatest haircut ever, and then you go home, and you take a shower, and you go to bed, and the next morning you wake up, and you can't duplicate that same look that they did yesterday, that the hairstylist duplicated yesterday. Well, that's because the cut, the actual style, the shape, I should say, the actual shape that was cut into your hair wasn't that strong of a shape. What they were really good at, though, is hiding that it wasn't that strong of a shape by styling it really well. See, if you cut a shape, whether it's a square, whether it's a round circle, whether it's an oval, round layers, square layers, graduation, if you cut that shape in, and that shape is there, whether you shampoo the gel, pomade, hairspray, mousse, whatever it is that they styled your hair with when you left, whether you shampoo that out, the shape is still there, right? If they've cut a good shape in. And so when you go home and style your hair again, the next day you shampoo the product out and then you style your hair the next day, the style, if the shape was cut well, the style will be easy to dress again well. And this was a discussion that I had with somebody. They shared how it's kind of a trial and error kind of a process that they had gone through to find the right stylist. Now, this particular person I was chatting with lives in Los Angeles. I don't live in Los Angeles, so I don't cut their hair. But they were saying how they went through this process of elimination by getting their hair cut with certain people, and there just were some people that the next day when she went home, she could not get her hair to look like it was the day before when the hairstylist blew dry it, when the hairstylist styled it. But there are other people that every time she goes, consistently, she knows that when she goes home the next day and shampoos her hair, and she just blow dries her hair, it just basically dries her hair. It takes it from wet to dry. The hair's going to fall exactly where it needs to fall because that shape was cut exactly the way it needed to be cut. So what I wanted to share is if you guys are going out there and getting a haircut, and whether you're a man or a woman, whether it's long hair or short hair, and then you go to style it later, the next day, that night, whatever it may be, and you can't get it to look the same, most likely the shape of the haircut wasn't executed that good. Most likely. Now, not necessarily for sure. Maybe you just aren't that great at styling your own hair. But most people can at least style their own hair. We grow up styling our own hair for the most part. I shouldn't say everybody can. There are people that I still see when I'm out and about that I wonder if they even spend any time styling their hair before they left the house. And if that's the way they like to wear their hair, of course, that's the way they like to wear their hair. So, that good for them. Good for them. But for the most part, we know how to at least style our own hair because we've styled our own hair every single day. So where I'm going with this is, if you can't style your own hair, then maybe you need to consider, finding somebody who's going to execute cutting the shape better into your hair. Because that is a big complaint that I get whenever I've had a new client come to me. They said, hey, listen, it's super important for me to be able to style my hair tomorrow. I know you're going to make it look good when I leave here, but I want to be able to make it look good myself tomorrow. So how do I do that? And what they didn't understand is that it's the shape that needs to be cut in correctly, right? You can, like I said, anyone can cut hair. They can take scissors and cut the hair and make it shorter, and now you've had a haircut. But if that shape wasn't done correctly, then you're not going to be able to make it look good. It's kind of like origami, right? If you take a piece of paper and let's say you want to make it look like a star, somebody could actually cut the shape of a star into the piece of paper, and that star will always be there every single day because you've cut that shape. But maybe somebody who's not good at cutting a star goes in and cuts a really crappy star in that piece of paper, but they're good at origami and they fold the paper in a way and make it look like a beautiful star, right? They style that piece of paper into a beautiful star. And then when you unfold it, you can't duplicate it back because you don't know origami. You don't know how to make it look good again. But for the person who actually executed cutting that piece of paper like a perfect star, well, you don't have to unfold it because it's already a perfect star. So, my reason for this today is because I wanted to kind of help share to those people, because there's a lot of them, because I've cut a lot of them as a hairstylist to the stars and rich and famous in New York City for, almost 20 years. I cut a lot of people that basically would come in and say, hey, one of my biggest complaints is that when I leave the stylist, my hair never looks the same. I want to be able to duplicate it. And that's why we cut the hair in a specific shape so that when they go home, all they have to do is dry their hair. They just have to get out of the shower, take it from wet hair to dry hair. Whether they blow dry it with a brush, whether they blow dry it with their hand, the shape is going to fall into that actual haircut. And of course, there are people who can blow dry better than others, and the better you blow dry, the better it'll look, but the shape is there. And so if you happen to be that person who's just wondering, how come I can never make my hair look like the hairstylist when I leave, maybe, just maybe, it's not the shape that's getting cut into your hair that you're looking for. And maybe, just maybe, through a process of elimination like this gal who I was speaking with who lives in Los Angeles, who went through a process of elimination to find the right stylist who could always cut their hair in a way that they could duplicate it the next day. Maybe that is something that you might need to entertain. Now, I wanted to share that message with you in case that happens to be you. And I want to be here for you guys. If you have any questions in regards to your hair, please feel free to put them down in the comment section below. Yeah, if you guys like this video, if this video resonated with you, you're like, yes, that's me. I am that person who can never duplicate my hairstyle. Whether it's like I said, whether you're a guy or a gal, you just can't duplicate what the stylist did, and this resonated with you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more great content. We're going to share a bunch of stuff in here. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1, very first episode of our new podcast on Pro Stylist TV. And stay tuned. We're going to bring a podcast to you with informative information as often as possible. All right. Thank you guys so very much for watching.